Did you my kitty? Did you my kitty? Did you my kitty? Did you my kitty? I love her. Hey guys, what's up? It's Katrina, aka Ninny. You might notice that I'm filming in a different location today. That's because for the past 2 months I was apartment sitting for my friend, and now I'm back home, which is cool because I am reunited with my little cat Kit, who happens to be the topic of today's video. Now, when I got Kit, she was low-key famous at the time for all the wrong reasons. She was a rescue cat that I adopted from the Humane Society after hearing about her story on the news. When Kit was a year old, she was found and captured in the Amherstburg area because she had a zip tie tied around her tail so tight that it had to be amputated. Her story made the news because obviously that's not a normal thing to happen to an animal. It was pure animal abuse. Like, imagine someone pinning you down while you're trying to get away from them and putting a zip tie around your finger or your arm even. Like, imagine the type of pain and pressure that would have caused you. And imagine walking around with that for 2 weeks before finally going to the hospital and someone telling you that it has to be amputated. That's basically what my cat went through. To this day, we don't know who did this to her. We don't really know what happened to her. To my knowledge, no one has come forward about it or has come forward about it offering information. So there will never be any justice for her. The most I know is what I read in articles which said that for almost 2 weeks, people in this neighborhood in Amherstburg saw her kind of lurking around, and it took them 2 weeks to actually capture her to bring her to the Humane Society. And when she was brought there, that's when they made the decision that her tail had to be amputated because of the massive tissue damage from the zip tie. And they gave her the name Marcy, which I obviously later changed to Kit. Now, I had been wanting to get another cat for a while. I even remember one time bringing Michael with me to PetSmart and the Humane Society to go look at cats. Even though he was allergic, he still came because that was just the type of awesome human being he was. But I didn't find any that day, and maybe there was a reason why. I shared the post that Humane Society had on their Facebook page about Marcy to my own wall, and I tagged my mom and my sister in it asking, can we keep her? And of course my sister was down right away. My mom tried to fight it for a bit, but we convinced her. It didn't take long. And then from there we had friends join in the comment thread about what different names that we could name her, because like I said, Marcy, upon meeting her too, Marcy just didn't really fit her personality. So we kept track of everything, and on the morning that she was ready for adoption, the Humane Society posted on their Facebook, and I didn't see it right away, but I had a friend message me and be like, hey, I know you've been looking at this cat. They just posted, make sure you get down there before anyone else does. And honestly, for the first time since Michael passed, which was just over 3 months prior to that, I actually had a reason to get out of bed that I wanted to get out of bed for. It wasn't like I was going to work. This is okay, we're going to do some things today. And my mom, my sister, and I all went down to the Humane Society, right then and there, to make sure that we could be the first ones to see her, because there was... So I got out of bed, I threw on a toque, a sweater, I told my mom and my sister what was going on, and the three of us went down there to go meet her. And when we met her, she was just the cutest little thing. Oh my god, all she wanted to do was cuddle and rub up on my legs. It was adorable, and I took a little video and I'll insert it here.
Marcy.
Her name is Rora.
Rora.
Like her fur, because it's all different colors.
Oh, Jerry, good. Marcy girl. Rora. Good girl.
Yeah.
Rora. Yeah, that's perfect.
Good girl. Aren't you precious? Oh. Go see Denda. Go see Denda. Go see Denda. Oh, you just want to love me. It's okay. You can go see her. Go see Denda. She'll love you too.
So my sister and I wanted to get her from the moment we saw her, and like I said, it took 2 seconds to convince my mom. But my dad was a bit iffy because he didn't want another cat in the house because we already did have one at the time. Her name was Roma, and she was a little adorable fur ball. I miss her. But I think what ultimately convinced my dad was that my mom told him that interacting with this cat was probably the first time she's seen me smile since everything happened. I think that was a good enough reason for my dad to allow us to bring another cat into the home, because if it was going to help me, then why not? So we signed the adoption papers and we went back the next day to pick her up. So I'm going to go try to find her right now and bring her here, and hopefully she's not too skittish, because like I said, I was gone for 2 months, and now that I'm home, she acts like she doesn't know who I am. Personality. Okay, BRB. Kitty! It's okay. All right, we're gonna see how long she lasts. All right. So she lived in my room for the first little bit because, like I said, we had another cat in the house, and you have to introduce them like gradually to each other. It was awesome. She was just so curious, and she wanted to explore every nook and cranny in my room. She would lay underneath my bed, and when I was laying on top of my bed, I could hear her purr so loudly from under there. She loved watching Netflix with me. I'm not kidding you. As soon as I turned on my laptop, she would come sit right next to me or cuddle up against me, and she would watch the screen with me. It was so adorable. And sometimes she would like see things move on the screen and like bat at it. It was so cute. She just seemed so unfazed by what had happened to her, and like with a little love and attention, she was acting like a normal cat again. I think originally I felt like I really connected with her because we both had just gone through like pretty traumatic, life-changing experiences. Things you don't expect to happen to you in your lifetime. And even though I couldn't help myself really at the time, I knew I could help her. But seeing her bounce back and seeing her become a regular cat again just taught me this lesson of resiliency. She's an animal. She doesn't know anything else but survival. She has to go on, and she lives a completely normal life now. She came back from a pretty traumatic experience, and I use that as such an example for myself. And that's why I named her Kit after the younger sister in A League of Their Own, because that character was so scrappy and strong and resilient, and above all else, she was a fighter. A couple weeks ago, I talked about my struggles with suicidal thoughts and finding your reasons why. And this little tailless wonder, I love you so much, was definitely one of my reasons why. She gave me a reason to get up and to get out of bed in the morning. Like, she depended on me to take care of her, and I had to show up. She would make me smile and laugh when I played with her, like she still does. And laughing is just such a great release of energy too. And whether she knows it or not, she helped me so much during my grieving process. Oh, you're getting squirmy, you don't like it. Like I said, she hates me now because I was gone, but whatever, because I love her. I love this little nutty. You're so cute. Go back on the pillow. Back on the pillow, kitty. Back on the pillow. We're not done yet. So, am I telling you to go out and adopt an animal? Not necessarily, no. Because I don't know your situation. Adopting an animal is a really big decision, and you have to do a lot of research to make sure it's the right decision for you. Animals aren't toys, they're living creatures. They depend on you to take care of them. Do you have the financial resources to take care of them? Do you have the time to take care of them? Feed them, to buy them toys, to take them on walks, to the park, to take them to the vet when they're sick? Because if you can't take care of them, or you realize down the road it's not the right fit for you and you bring it back to a shelter, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get adopted again. Not every shelter or humane society is a no-kill place, because sometimes there's just not enough people to adopt all the animals that they have there, and there's not enough resources to take care of all the animals that they have there. Why do you think Bob Barker always signed off on Price is Right by saying, help control the pet population, have your pet spayed or neutered? He knew what was up. So keep in mind that the pet that you could be bringing back to wherever you adopted from could eventually be put down. And if you're going to adopt and eventually have to bring it back, do you want to be responsible for that? That might sound a little harsh, but I don't care. We're talking about a living creature's life here, and they deserve to have a great one like all living creatures. This is something you should think about when you're thinking about adopting, because it's not fair that they should die because you didn't make an informed decision. That you chose to adopt a big dog even though you live in a tiny apartment with no yard and don't have the time to take them out and play with them, or you bought a kitten and weren't expecting the amount of responsibility, or didn't have money to get their first shots, or got super mad when they would forget where the litter box was. But hey, if you really feel like you want to contribute and be around animals, then I really do suggest volunteering, because a lot of shelters need volunteers in order to keep the place running. And maybe being in service to others might help you find purpose again. Maybe it might help you find a reason why. Along with adopting Kit Kit, I also volunteered at WETRA, which stands for Windsor Essex Therapeutic Riding Association, and they are such a great organization. It's basically therapy using horses to help people with mental and physical disabilities. It was amazing to see the progress the riders were making when I was there, and on top of everything, I got to be around horses. It was amazing. So, getting back to it though, please do your research when you're thinking about adopting an animal, and remember to always adopt. Don't shop. Alright guys, I think that's all Kit has in her for this week's video. She wants to squirm around so bad. If you're still here, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you don't have a YouTube account to subscribe, I suggest making one. And hit that notification bell if you really don't want to miss anything. I put out new videos every Wednesdays or Thursdays if I get busy. So that's it. This is me and Kit Kit signing off. You little cutie, I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you guys. Keep your heads up, and I'll see you next week. I'll kiss you. Bye, kitty. Say bye, Kit Kit. Say bye-bye. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you hate me so much. I'll never see you for 3 days.